What would an older single woman do just to get pregnant? What lengths would she go to? This woman named Tangja Kim is the editor-in-chief of a top fashion magazine. Successful and financially independent, she lives a polished, put-together life. Even though her best friends are married with kids and everything seems perfect, she does not envy them at all. She still loves the freedom of being single. Already past 30, she still insists on not getting married. But she never expected that babysitting for a friend would spark the sudden desire to have a daughter of her own. And with every little sister call, Tangja slowly got pulled in. Eating together, living together. Sweet smart Jundu made this aunt who never really liked kids feel a kind of joy she had never felt before. So when Jundu got picked up by her mom, Tangja suddenly felt incredibly empty. Then Tangja suddenly got sick. But none of her ex-boyfriends were any help. They were either married or tied up with work. And of course that included her best friend too. She thought she would have to face that lonely miserable chill all by herself. But then sweet little Jundu showed up right then with food for her. And that melted Tangja on the spot. If only I could have a daughter of my own. So the Tangja who swore she would never marry, actually started thinking about becoming a single mom. Not long after Tangja went to her mentor's funeral. Because she never married and never had kids, her mentor ended up passing away alone. With no one there at the end. That bleak ending made Tangja think of her own future. She tossed and turned all night. And first thing the next morning she rushed to the hospital, only to be told by the doctor they could not do IVF for an unmarried woman. But Tangja was dead set on having a daughter. So she decided to find a man. Her best friend started helping her look. But Tangja wanted the best of the best genes. So her standards were sky high. He had to be handsome, kind and also respectable and smart. That is a tall order. So Tangja had no choice but to go to the city's most powerful matchmaker. With the matchmaker's help, a man named Choi Jin became Tangja's target. Choi Jin is 28, unmarried, a professor at a university in Korea, and also a botanist. Not only is he a total catch personally, his family background is top tier too. He is the eldest grandson of a prominent local family. Tangja was thrilled. So the very next day she took his info to a private investigator. Reading the report on Choi Jin, Tangja could not help thinking he was the best of the best. But when she saw the relationship section she froze. Turns out he is so busy researching plants, he has never had a relationship in his life. Tangja felt a little stuck, but she still made up her mind to get this man. So after getting all dressed up, Tangja showed up at the botanical garden where Choi Jin worked. But Choi Jin was so focused he never looked at her even once. To get his attention, Tangja tried everything she could think of, but he stayed locked in on his work. Looks like gentle is not going to work, only she overdid it, and dragged him into the water. At least the ice was finally broken. After that she followed Choi Jin to his lab, just the two of them alone in one room. Tangja used the moment to tug her neckline lower, but this bookish guy saw it and immediately turned away. Tangja looked crushed. What kind of man is this? Right then, he suddenly turned around and walked toward her. Tangja thought her moment had arrived. She closed her eyes and waited, but he only asked where his bag was. Turns out a few days earlier, Tangja accidentally grabbed Choi Jin's bag at the supermarket, and it had important plant seeds inside. He checked the cameras but still could not identify the woman, so Choi Jin just memorized her face. What kind of wild coincidence is that? No wonder his photo looked so familiar the first time. Tangja was secretly thrilled, like fate was handing her an opening. Of course she agreed to return the bag. That way she could keep seeing Choi Jin. After she got home, Tangja told her best friend she planned to have a baby with Choi Jin. Even though the first try did not work, she would keep using the bag return as an excuse to keep the plan going. Is that not going to cause trouble? Her best friend was worried, but Tangja said, the second she got pregnant she would cut Choi Jin off completely, and disappear without a trace. If no one knows, then no problems will come after her, and she made her best friend swear to keep it secret. She had no choice. She wanted a baby but did not want marriage, and the hospital would not do IVF, so this was her last resort. After thinking it through, Tangja decided to ask Choi Jin to meet at her studio. Then she started setting things up ahead of time. At the agreed time, Choi Jin showed up for the meeting.